if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Mana Blitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
Nothing is working today. Okay.
That's it's working, Josh. It's working. A new sponsor.
Yes, we have another sponsor on the show, One Worcester Homes.
Is that why I put that as my background, maybe?
Yeah, and you love backgrounds, and when you found out that you had a chance to do a new background, I mean, luckily it's a good logo.
Hey, listen, I'm always promoting our show with the Breaking the Ice thing, but this is new sponsor.
Got some scrambled eggs on the side there.
I know. What is that? Cheddar? That might be
That's
that might
weird.
be cheddar. That's cheddar walking through.
Strange.
Might be your cheap green screen.
My cheap green screen is called Zoom. That's how fucking cheap it is.
Thanks to One Worcester for sponsoring us.
Yes.
One Worcester Homes, and they just launched One Worcester Loans. So, I mean, kind of one-stop shopping. You can get a loan for the house that you buy from them. I mean,
I like that.
They're dialed in.
Move to Worcester. Really?
They do everything.
Traffic isn't bad enough already. Let's just cram more people into this friggin' city.
Me and my wife are looking.
Worst traffic and the potholes. It's like it's friggin' Beirut out there.
Beirut.
All right. Or no. Well, okay. What's a city that's like being bombed right now?
Well, give it a few minutes. It's going to be fucking.
It's Minsk.
No.
Whatever.
Who is Russia about to blow up?
Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's like the Crimea. It's like the Crimea around here, for crying out loud.
Sorry. Hey, the good thing about these people is they go from Keene, New Hampshire, all the way down through the states, down to Connecticut, and they sell in Florida. So if you want to live in Florida, One Worcester Homes does Florida.
So if you're retiring and you're moving out of Worcester, they'll sell your home here and help you buy one down there.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Now, Josh, you're the one with the bank account. We've been doing this for almost 2 years now. We must have enough in the bank account to buy a Breaking the Ice condo in Florida.
You would think that, but no. Because not all that time there was money coming in, and it just
how about a couple of bags of meth in Jacksonville? Do we have enough to do that?
One bag,
Josh,
and a couple nips.
Okay. All right.
So
I'm all for that.
Yeah, Mike and I wanted to talk to you about that because we've seen no residual from this, so we're assuming that.
I think I've made a profit off of this. It's gone right back into the business.
You've got all these sponsors.
Look at you with the high-tech microphone and the sweet
You have
studio.
the same mic.
No,
I'm using my iPhone.
This is a Worcester microphone.
Oh,
made in Worcester. This
wasn't bought with sponsor money. This was bought with sex. But
yeah,
Ew. Listen, there's some good-looking people at Guitar Center, and
Jesus Christ,
go to the Natick one. Tell Ralph I said hi.
Yeah, the Natick one's pretty cool. Yeah, there's like this sweet-looking 6 foot tall gothy guy that works there. Wears a vest. Looks pretty sharp.
There's a lot of vest wearers in that one. They all kind of look like they didn't make the cut for like Extreme or one of those bands, and I just love that.
Right. Or else they look like they're really into Dungeons and Dragons.
I have to show you something here. So I went skiing last week and there was an accident.
And so you took a picture of it? Did somebody die?
Somebody else took a picture of it.
It doesn't look like anything.
What that is.
That's upside down. That's upside down. That's
unfortunate. It looks like you zoomed in on the picture of a cracked egg.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing. I mean,
I'm just getting excited with my backgrounds. Hold on.
It looks like okay. I can make it out now. It looked like a weird cell tower before, but
hold on.
What happened there?
Oh no.
Is that you?
I got caught on the chairlift.
One Worcester Homes just pulled their sponsorship.
What? Come on.
We would like to thank them for their time with us.
But Wachusett Mountain's on the phone.
And Neshoba Valley.
Wah penis.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a friend of mine taking a picture as I was stuck off the chairlift, hanging down with no pants on.
No, you don't have a belt, huh? No belt.
I look at Colorado, Mike. I sent you a text. I was high. I was really high.
You must have been really high because I didn't get any text from Colorado. So,
oops.
Whoever got that text, good luck.
You were texting John Denver. You were texting
Probably exactly what I was doing. Yeah, it was a good week, but
wow.
You're
doing the boot already?
Huh? Oh yeah. Well, I'm drinking
back to
beer
drinking,
again,
huh?
So yeah.
Oh, let's talk about that. Are you back
crazy?
On the?
I lost 20 pounds, so now it's like just a matter of keeping it off. So
congrats.
Staying at 190. It was tough through the holidays because it was the holidays and I was surrounded by cheesecake and lasagna. But but yeah, so
you lost
now
20 pounds.
I can enjoy beer and other stuff again, just in moderation, of course. It's not like I was drinking a lot before. So, but
I don't know what is that word you just used? What is that?
Yeah, it actually works when you're old. It's better when you're old.
You're older than me, so I'll catch up.
So it definitely works. Yeah, but so yeah, now I'm drinking the occasional beer and having the occasional scotch. And
so what's in the boot?
This is Greater Goods Ivana. It's an imperial chocolate stout.
Ooh,
it's wonderful. Brewed right here in Worcester. Yeah, it's super heavy and it's delicious.
You're okay with it?
I'm loving it. Yeah, it's good stuff. Greater Good makes good beers, and they're all like double, the alcohol because they're all imperials. So, you go to Greater Good, don't expect to leave there, with both eyes open.
Or your keys.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of beer, I was thinking yesterday, I was like, I don't think I've had a beer in a bar since 2019. Like,
come
it's
on.
been like
2019.
Well, the whole pandemic, there were no bars open, and then I had a baby, and there's no I don't see a reason to go to a bar anymore.
That was in 20.
Can we take care of something right now, just on a related note? Can men in general just stop saying I had a baby? Because you didn't really have that's like when you're talking about the Patriots and it's like, I couldn't believe the refs were giving us such a hard time. And it's like, oh, they were giving you a hard time as you were sitting on your couch in your underwear. No. You're not part of the fucking team. So when men say so when my wife had a baby or we had a child or something, don't say I had a baby.
No, she had the baby and Josh uses it as an excuse.
You know what? I'm totally with you on that.
Cried.
I hate when people say that, but Laura always says when I know, but I'm explaining that. She always says when we had a baby, and I think now I'm just repeating what she said, but I hate when people say that too, because I was like, I felt so bad the night that the baby was born because Laura did the day's work, all the work. I mean, I ran and got ice a few times, and that's it. So
for your drink, you ran and got ice for your drink, not even
for my whiskey.
Her.
I was stressed, and I like it on the rocks.
That's basically what you did on the Hillman Morning Show. So no different. Go get me ice. The fuck, you didn't do anything.
Give me large iced coffee, hazelnut, 6 creams, 2 pumps.
After the baby was born. I could not stay awake. Laura was up filling papers out, and I was like, I can't stand up. I passed out, and Laura was fine. It must have been adrenaline or something, and it was just emotional exhaustion. But
no, it's because she's a woman.
I felt so guilty.
They're built for that kind of stuff,
right? She did the work, and you're a bitch. We've been talking about this for a long time. Why would you pass out? She should pass out.
I don't know. That's why I was like, I feel so bad. Why am I so tired?
Every month they experience enough pain that would immobilize, an offensive lineman.
Oh, it's fucking great. You got to get your wife on the show. You got to put your wife down in that 4th fucking box, and we can just ask some questions.
She doesn't want anything to do with us.
No, she's never
barely talks to me.
I'm going to do the same thing.
The same thing. I'll let you touch my baby, but don't talk to me. Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
I can try and go get her right now, but it might
do it
just as well as when Jordan Smotherman tried to get his girl on.
I want to do it. No, do it. Get her. See, oh, this is great. Oh, Laura.
Oh boy, I don't want to. You know, this is a bad idea.
No, it's a really fucking bad idea.
Yeah,
I know.
She's.
You know the moderation thing you were talking about? I didn't stop at 5. I had to get what I wanted.
God, he's going to come back with a black eye and a split lip.
He's not going to come back. The rest of this episode.
I know, right? Next thing we're going to see on his screen is EMTs looking around the room. Everybody okay in here? Everybody all right?
All of a sudden, the fire extinguisher goes off, and we're like,
yeah, there's entrails everywhere. Somebody went house on that poor guy.
Oh yeah. Oh, this.
You got yelled at. You got yelled at.
That didn't go well.
No. You're so whipped.
You're lucky to be alive.
Now she's doing a workout before she goes picks the baby up.
What were the exact words?
She said, "Why do they want to talk to me? And what's it about?" And I'm doing a workout.
That's when you say, "What's with all the questions? Get up and get in there."
I'll be asking the questions here.
Listen, we have a new sponsor, and we want the sponsor to realize that we have diversity in not just male, but females join the show.
And speaking of our sponsor, One Worcester Homes, they're helping us look for a house where I can just lock myself in the basement and not bother her.
Are they helping you?
Yeah, we started right before the pandemic looking at houses in Worcester to help with the traffic there, as Shu said. And
right.
Yeah, we took a little break after the baby was born, but now we're trying to get back out there and look. But
so you want to move to Worcester?
That's one of the places we're looking, but now we're kind of just looking anywhere that it's not $700,000 for a Home Depot shed, you know?
Right. You might have to go further west. It's getting silly here in Worcester now.
Want to go that direction?
That's why we ended up in Worcester, because like we just kept going west until there was something we could afford. And that 22 years ago, like nobody was coming to Worcester, and now all of a sudden Worcester's like this like it place.
It's on the property. The property values on your house are going to be high. That's good.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good. But it's like Kelly Square, and they improved Kelly Square a little bit with the new traffic formations and stuff, and the Polar Park, and all the improvements and everything going on there. But you know what? I think a little bit of Worcester's soul kind of left. Sure. When they fixed up Kelly Square. And now there's like a bunch of basic bitches taking selfies in front of the Worcester Marketplace, and
basic bitches.
It's just like it's
weird.
It used to be like you're running from junkies, and now it's like you're running away from people from like Holden
Aaron.
or something. Yeah. And you're just like, oh God, please just let me get some parking. I never worried about parking in Worcester until like 2 years ago. And
see,
now
Mike sounds like anybody who is old school from South Boston, like Southie. When you go into Southie, a couple of years ago, I was there for one of the
sounds like my parents about Cambridge.
Right. No, and anybody who's been somewhere for a while. We were in Southie for one of the St. Patrick's Day parades, and it's lined with all sorts of people. And obviously that area has gone super yuppie, but it was cool to kind of watch some of the old school dudes walking the streets, and you could just see them kind of grumbling, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't know Southie. You think you're on fucking, whatever avenue. And I remember seeing a couple of them going, those are the guys that are at, I think it's called Tom's Tavern. I could be wrong with this, but it's like still a cash only bar at like the end of Main Street. Like, there's one still in Worcester, a few that are still like, that's where the grizzled, like, you don't walk in there yuppie, you'll get your ass kicked.
Right.
Like,
right.
You go in there, there's still a fucking cat sitting at the end of the bar in a fucking sweatsuit, and you know what that sweatsuit means. Okay.
Right. They're not paying taxes, but they're paying someone.
Just because Bulger's dead doesn't mean I'm not fucking carrying the tradition, is what those sweats mean.
Well, actually, here in Worcester, that means Albanian mafia.
That too.
Yeah.
It means I own the building.
There's still places in Kelly Square like the Hotel Vernon, thank God.
Yeah.
And they still have dollar drafts, which is a good thing. There's a place called the White Eagle. Thank God they're still there. Places for the locals to still go to, so they don't have to hang out and deal with people wearing
Uggs. The Mount Vernon has dollar drafts?
No, the Vernon Hotel.
Oh, the Mount. Sorry, I was thinking of a Dane Cook bit. The Vernon Hotel. Is it all drafts, or is it just like a certain kind? Like Coogan's in Boston is dollar drafts, but only Bud Light.
Oh, so yeah, this is only Gansett.
Oh, okay. I was like, I can go in there and get
it. Man, they're $1. I don't care what it is. Natty Light, whatever.
They're still $1 today.
It's $1. It's $1 for drafts and $1 to play pool. And
what's this place called? What is this?
The Hotel Vernon.
Oh, dude. Is that by Coney Island?
No. It's right on Kelly Square. It's like on the most dangerous corner of Kelly Square. And that's where Babe Ruth used to go. When Babe Ruth lived in Sudbury, he used to come out here because they had a speakeasy, the Madame Rhubarb. You had to go in there and say, hey, I'd like to speak to Madame Rhubarb. And then they'd walk you downstairs and there's a speakeasy downstairs.
Oh, is that when he got sent down to the Woo Sox?
Yeah, that's right. He was over at Polar Park getting helmet nachos. Yeah.
He was way, way, way ahead of his time.
Yeah.
There will be a ballpark here.
And it's still a hotel. Is it? It's one of those, hotels where people live in it.
Yep.
But it's still a hotel right there on Kelly Square. I can't even imagine living on Kelly Square. What that must be like. That's a constant menagerie of
nonsense,
misery, and shenanigans. Yeah.
Now, is that near like the DPU Center? I still don't really know the layout.
Kelly Square?
Yeah.
No, it's not really.
No.
You can walk, but it's a long walk. It's a healthy walk.
Yeah, it's a decent. It's not that long. It's a decent walk.
Because I want to go to a Railers game so bad, and I want to park near there. But like, if I could walk there, I definitely want to go check that out.
You just park behind Kelly's. You park behind the DCU Center. They got all sorts of shit right up in front of the fucking what is it, the Palladium?
I'll park anywhere. I just want to get out and do something. I haven't done anything in forever since my wife had the baby.
Thank you. Since my wife did all the work, you basically coughed into your hand, gave it to her, and she did everything.
The wife have a baby. Yeah.
Since I fucking came once, and now she did all the work.
Wow.
Well,
you've seen that with the logo.
Brought to you by One Worcester Homes. These people are from Keene, New Hampshire, all the way down to Connecticut, and now in Florida.
If you need a home to come once in, One Worcester can help you out.
Listen, it's exhausting. Okay.
See the one?
One
it only takes
home.
one, and you have a Worcester home.
That's right. Come once, you got a baby. That's all it takes.
The great thing about these people, honestly, is when Josh told me that he got them on, I said, mind if I talk to the guy? Yep, not a problem. Total down to earth, AAF kind of, vibe of just blue collar. Like, he's like, dude, I just got good people in my office. We just give a fuck about people. We care. We're not, this big conglomerates. He was just a total dude's dude. And I was like, that's got to match with the people. So I can say, here you go. You come once, One Worcester Homes.
All right.
There's your new tagline.
About it. Let's talk about it when things are actually definite.
Well, we're having a meeting right now and people are listening. This is just fantastic. It's so entertaining. Yeah.
Nobody knows what we're talking about except for us.
We're talking about doing a lot. Show.
No, go ahead.
No, please.
Let's just save all the stuff until we have some definite information.
This is going to be booked. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a good show.
Unless it's
going to be entertaining. It's going to be in Worcester. We'll say that. And we're going to raise money for a fucking great charity that Mike came up with. So fucking that's what we got. And we'll announce it on the next episode.
Yep. Yeah, I just made it up and I'm taking that money. I'm going to Naples, Florida. I'm going to buy some.
It did sound a bit fucked up. You're going to go to One Worcester Homes and buy a place in Florida and fucking leave us.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Such a prick.
Josh, real quick, your thoughts on Tuukka Rask calling it a career?
Quitter.
Yeah, that's bullshit. You
Quitter.
Fucking break a hip and try to come back and play professional hockey.
I'm also not a Bruins fan, so I'm going to poke you in the eye.
Quitter? Fuck that.
No,
how are those Avs doing? Whatever.
I mean,
number one in the league right now. Look it up. Fuck.
What do you think? What's your thoughts on Rask retiring?
I just can't believe he's a former Boston Bruin. Like I was at his first NHL game that he had a shutout, and it feels like yesterday, and he's old enough to where his hips are breaking down and he's retired. But I think I would have liked to see him come back because I feel like they need him in the room, and I would have liked to see him get that Stanley Cup with him being the starting goalie because he has the ring, but Timmy was the goalie. Tim Thomas.
Right. Was he back up to Thomas that year?
Yeah.
Was he? Got it.
Yep. But I don't know.
Thomas was quite the fucking character that year, wasn't he?
A character, yeah. He was an octopus. Nobody could score him.
No, but I mean but it's just his whole demeanor was so like just a great you stuck the fuck out like a sore thumb, like with all of his antics off the ice, and then he, like you said, octopus was a fucking absolute stud. I'm not even a Bruins fan anymore, but I think, all bullshit aside, good for him for coming back and giving it a shot and saying, "Fuck this, I'm not going to give up." I'm just joking when I say quitter, and he just couldn't do it.
All the haters, like I get that
you shouldn't hate at all on a fucking guy. He tried. He did everything he could do.
Yeah, I mean, he broke down. He came back and he hurt him. I mean, if anyone who calls him a quitter, I mean, he's the winningest goalie in Bruins history. Is that not correct?
Right.
Yeah, they should retire his number. I mean, his stats are ridiculous. He was an amazing goalie, and just people think about the Stanley Cup final things and think that he would always bail. But the people that are calling him like mentally weak and a quitter and just like flaky, being a goalie is a very stressful job.
Yeah.
Just ask Andrew Raycroft. He was just like very mentally draining, and that has something to do with why he doesn't like playing goal now, even in like pickup games or with the Bruins alumni. He was like, even like then the goalie just gets abused. He's like, so I just PTSD out now.
He's probably got PTSD from getting, I mean, and think about how over the years this game has accelerated in speed and the types of things you couldn't even go in that blue crease without getting, the cops arresting you. Right. And now it's just a barrage of, you're getting run at, you're getting the pucks are coming at you faster, bodies are slamming into you. That has to be the craziest fucking position to play in hockey, no question.
But yeah, I think I'm sad to see him go and that he's done, but he's still going to be in the community, and I'm sure he'll be a character around the city. But
what do you think about Marchand getting 6 games?
He deserved it.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you watch all of it?
Yeah, I watched all of it. I mean, maybe I'm just numb to it, but I think it was mostly because this was his 8th suspension in 10 years?
But not all of those suspensions were like, he shouldn't have been suspended for all of those. It's just because who he is and the way he does things. It's like in semi-pro where they did the alley-oop and they're like, travel. They just see Marchand's face and they just blow the whistle. But that I think
you and I talked the other day, he absolutely, you have 14 seconds left in the game. You unfortunately are losing to the Penguins, and you have some hair across your ass with that goalie. The whistle's blown and you punch him in the fucking head. And then as you're being taken away, you push in close enough to get a stick up under, that's just that there's no discipline there at all. You're a fucking amazing hockey player. But what the fuck are you doing?
Earlier in the game, he was trying to give a puck to a fan. Did you see that?
I did. That has nothing to do with it.
And Marshy went up and slapped it off his stick and hit it across the rink. What do you think Yari said to him?
Well, they have issue. They clearly have issue. That part's funny. That part's kind of funny, but that's like before the game. But you're playing in the game now. And the main part, Josh and I talked about this the other day, you do not have Bergeron because of an upper body injury. You do not have Tuukka anymore, and now you're out for 6 fucking games. What the fuck are you doing? You're hurting your team.
It shouldn't be 6 games. It wasn't that bad. Like, this is hockey. Like, stop being so sensitive.
I get it. But you're out now for 6 games with no captain, no goalie. Not that you don't have a good backup.
But also, you do stuff like that to, like, the Penguins are coming up. They're a good team. You want to get under their skin. Marchand when he did that puck thing, that was the only thing the goalie was thinking of the rest of the night until the punch in the face. Then he was thinking of that. But I mean, Marchand is like, he's an instigator. He does things I would never even think of to try and get in someone's head. Like, I would have to think forever to be like.
He clearly did it with as you mentioned, Mike, that piece where it's interesting because he's just taking the puck and he's just trying to give it to a kid. And Marshall's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Now, people say not in my house.
To know what he said. What
can they definitely say? They skated towards each other.
Nothing.
What did the goalie say to Marchand?
Yeah. What did Yari possibly say to this guy who puts out so much shit all around him? And what did he say to him that made him do something like I'd never seen that before?
I think it was beyond that one thing. You are definitely there's got to be some history there for him to, after a whistle, punch a goalie in the face. Because normally, let's go back. I mean,
for no reason too. It's like it was just like a routine save, blow the whistle, everyone's standing around, and then Marchand was like, "Oh, one more thing."
Right, and then as the refs try to push him away, he's like, "Fuck you again." There's history there, and that's the shit where I love the mic'd up things in sports where you can. I wish there was more mic'd up with not just all the hey, we're having fun, but like why this one fucking absolutely hates that one. Because imagine if you could mic up Cam Neely and Ulf Samuelsson. Think about those days, because that bitch took out Neely.
But you know what was going on there. There was
like
an assault on Cam Neely's knee. You know what's going.
Yes.
But I feel like some of the players that I know that have had things like that happen that you think, oh, what happened before that made them that angry? Like Chris Nyland giving Rick Middleton the butt end of the stick and knocked out like most of Rick Middleton's teeth. They were like, what happened before that? And Chris Nyland is just like, he was there. And so I was just so maybe Marchand.
Is Marchand married?
Yes.
I'm guessing it's something about his wife.
Oh, he brought it to work. Oh, you think the goalie?
I think the goalie either said something about his wife or maybe knew his wife before they were married.
Or fucked his wife before they were married.
I don't think that kind of stuff would bother Marchand. I think you can say I don't think you can hurt his feelings or get under.
That's why I'm so curious, because
that's why I think Marchand was he made the decision like, you know what? I'm getting under the entire team's skin by going after what matters to them, their goalie.
Yeah. No, hey,
with 14. Yeah, but with 14 seconds left
and you're losing, you're sending a message for the next time.
Well, but
he should have done that during the warm-ups.
Correct, because now
he's going to lose.
No, back to what I just said. You just hurt your team. Now you have 3 superstars not in the mix. You, Bergeron, and I was listening to a clip that who's your coach, Cassidy. He was saying, he's like, it's tough now in the locker room. Not tough. He said something like, I thought he was half kidding, but he said, there's more oxygen in the room. I think he means because they're not in there chattering, but these players are going to think that they can step up and replace Bergeron and Marchand, and they can't. You can't, but you got to do something. It's got to be next man up, because you got a game tonight, tomorrow, whatever day. You got to you can't all of a sudden drop 3 in a row because you don't have Bergeron and fucking Marchand.
But also that might be where that frustration is coming out of Marshy, where it's like everything seems to be falling apart, where it's like Bergeron's gone. He probably Tuukka was like, I'm done, and he was like, Tuukka's not coming back, and then probably
he just fucking snapped
other stuff that we don't see behind the scenes, and then he just didn't like Jari's face, and then
he was wearing a mask.
I know.
You can see through those little cages.
You're punching the goalie in the head. You're not going to penetrate that. The man takes 1,000-mile-an-hour slap shot 50 times a game.
It's I'm so curious, man, because all those things you guys just mentioned, I'm just dying to find out. I'm just dying. Josh, you got to know somebody in there that you can call and say, what the fuck? What did Jari say?
I feel like I just want to ask Marchand. I mean, he did the old breaking the ice intro. I put that at the end of
the
episode sometimes. I know Carlo.
I'm just dying.
Just to ask, like, what tweaked your nuts?
Tough guy,
to make you do that.
First of all, should we call Jordan Smotherman? See if he knows what could have went on
right now.
I actually asked Jordan Smotherman. I talked to him this morning, and he was just like, "Yeah, that was." Even he was like, "Geez, that was like." I mean, that was like
I asked him
level. I asked him about 6 games, and it's almost like $500,000, for the fine. And he was like, "Yeah, I think that's appropriate." I was like, "Oh my god, really?"
Hey, like we had Andy Furgon. Can you get him on the show quick? Let's go. See, are they playing tonight?
Smotherman? I don't know. I don't have
either one of you. You guys both know him. Blow him up and let's.
I don't have, like that, or let me see if I have his number.
If you think about like what used to go on in hockey games, like that is nothing. Like they used to have fights with like the Boston Police and like Derek Sanderson chasing people down the hallway.
Time. It's been a long time.
Let's go to fucking back to fucking when the Bruins jumped in the stands at the Rangers game and started beating up fucking fans.
Yeah, that was Middleton. Was that Middleton?
It was
it was
Terry O'Reilly and Milbury.
No, but there was also the guy from who's the announcer for the Avalanche now. He played with the Bruins for years. The fuck, he's the
The two headliners.
Peter
McNabb.
Thank you.
Yes.
Peter McNabb is the announcer for he was part of it. They all jumped into the stands and started fucking, one guy just took a fucking shoe and beating the fuck out of a man.
That was Mike Milbury, and
that was Milbury.
Milbury would do.
And Mike Milbury is still getting fired from hockey jobs today.
It's a gentleman's sport, you know.
Yeah, it's like tennis. It's nice, you know. It's like
right.
We just say
it's a classy sport. Okay.
I if you want to talk like does that all make sense? No, because you're exactly right, Josh. You should be able to go up, and guess what? If I give you a little fucking in the fucking head, then so be it. Well, I get a spam call during the fucking episode. Sorry. If you give someone a fucking pop to the head, then so be it. Then the next shift, watch your ass.
Yeah.
You know, or in a case like that, when Marchand punched him, how dare the Penguins players not loot? Like, you go back in the day.
That's true.
And someone punches Andy Moat.
Right.
You don't think for one fucking second that Cam Neely wouldn't beat the shit right out of you on that ice until you bled and lost your teeth.
Isaiah, that's not just back in the day. That's still now. Like, you fuck with a goalie now, right? I mean, they're gonna.
I'm surprised the Penguins didn't lose their shit.
Okay, so let's take that in consideration. So Marshy gets up there, punches the guy in the face. The refs kind of pull him aside, and then he spears him with a stick. What were the other Penguins doing?
Nothing.
Exactly. That's in those situations.
You know what that tells me? Not only did Yari fuck Marsh's wife before they were married, but he fucked all the other Penguins' girlfriends, and they don't give a fuck about him.
Not a likable character, but that also says a lot about that. That also says a lot about like the team in those situations. Like when Lucic hit Miller, the goalie for the Buffalo Sabres. None of the Buffalo Sabres did anything. He took Ryan Miller's head off.
Right.
And they did nothing. Why? Because he was in the way. They were both going for the puck, and you're not supposed to touch a goalie, but he was there, and they were both going for the puck, and Ryan Miller tasted Lucic's shoulder.
But why didn't the rest of the Sabres?
Because they're not a team.
They're not a team. Exactly. So that's the point.
That's another curious thing, because usually you fuck with a goalie. You even get in the goalie's face. The rest of the team will get in between the goalie and whoever the fuck that is. And now nobody was stepping up.
Nobody. The only person
NHL team, man. Nobody.
The only person that
should be a line away. You should be
only right.
Yeah.
Right. The only person that pulled Marchand away was the referee, and we can go back and look at the tape.
Yeah.
I mean, there may have been, one or two punches thrown, but if you hit my goalie, that should be a trigger to just like,
right.
Again, I might get 5 minutes for fighting here, but fuck you. Like,
also, hey, Jari, stand up for yourself. Why didn't he go after Marchand? He was just standing there and let the stick come to him. Your gloves should be off. What are you doing?
Look, the punch, and exactly. Then a few seconds later, anybody watching you just stick a fucking stick in your goal,
right?
You think you do nobody? That to Jerry Cheevers, and Jerry Cheevers is just going to sit there and draw another little thing on his mask? No.
Maybe it was a setup.
No.
Maybe they set up Marsh. Everybody is sick of Marsh's shit, and they set him up. They said, "Hey, just keep giving it to him, and he'll come at you, and then we'll just let the cameras roll, and he'll fucking take himself down."
Ugh, that would be awful. And one of these days, we're going to learn that all these sports are WWE scripted bullshit. I hope not, because the intensity in hockey, I've always really appreciated. It's like, you look at soccer, everyone gets bumped into and they fall down like the fucking, like the mast of a fucking boat just smashed their fucking sternum. Like, are you kidding me?
And it's gotten really bad. It's gotten really bad in the past few years. Because it used to be like hockey. The soccer players especially the Europeans, used to be real tough guys.
You brush up against them, they fall down.
Right,
now, I'm not saying I can run and keep up with them or whatnot, or handle one of those hits, but you watch the floppage, if that's even a word.
Well, they probably get rewarded for it. So whose fault is that? I mean, it's the league's fault. This is
the society that allows for the second place trophy. That's who, right? I want a second place trophy. Okay, let's go around the horn real quick. Who
around the horn?
Who didn't win the Super Bowl last year? Exactly.
Okay.
Who didn't win the World Series last year? Right. Who didn't win the NHL the Stanley Cup last year? Did not win.
I keep
Who
forgetting.
did the Lightning beat? We don't know. Who did Tampa beat in football? We don't know. Right? But everybody in this fucking world these days, I want a fucking trophy. I should get No, you should go fucking practice is what you should do, because you fucking lost, and sorry. You don't get me.
Fucking Tom Brady doesn't make it to the Super Bowl and just quits like that. What a loser.
That's a bit aggressive.
Oh, I forgot he retired. I mean, Tuukka just completely erased that.
I forgot he retired. I know,
I forgot.
Last night I was like, hold on, biggest retirement in New England history.
You know the funniest part, and I thought about you, Mike, when this happened, because Bitch Nation came out when.
Oh my God!
And you know exactly where I'm going with this. And the first thing I said was like, well, let me finish it. So Tom retires. I don't know. Josh doesn't watch football, but he retires, and he puts out a 5-page statement, and he thanks all the people in Tampa and all the things, because remember, he was playing for the Buccaneers when he retired. Keep that in mind. Now, if you back up the train to when Tom left New England to go to Tampa, it was a gushing, I love you, thank you, Lord Jesus, Kraft and Belichick and every fucking player. 20 years, thank you so much. I'm going, gotta go. That was gushing. And, you could put that up on the wall.
Right. Yeah.
How soon they forget, though, when Tom retires and puts out a statement. He's employed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the fucking way, and he puts out a nice statement, 5 pages, and it's a lot of thanking Bruce Arian, thanking this, thanking that. And the second it goes out, the fucking twat nation, you don't fucking, how does he not fucking remember us? Why doesn't he? Now, I looked at it too, and I was kind of like, but, I quickly went, wait a second. He really gave us props 2 years ago and said, thank you, Lord Jesus, for all this shit. And now he's playing with this team who he won a Super Bowl with, which ain't fucking easy. And he did.
I think he won a couple, right?
No,
one almost, I mean, was really close to winning a second one, but just struggled with the Rams or whoever they played. The point is, every fucking person and Mike's talked about this on the show, the pussy nation. There are Patriots fans, but then there's just the fucking haters. I want to bitch about everything. Dude, fuck Tom Brady. Even Portnoy did it. Portnoy got into one of his fucking emergency press conferences and said, fuck Tom Brady. What? Fuck Tom Brady for what? You stupid asshole.
For what? For giving us the excitement of 6 championships?
Well, honestly,
seriously.
Who should thank who? Who should thank who? Right? Like literally, who should thank who? Fucking Robert Kraft ought to thank his ass for the fact that when you bought that overpriced shitbag team, the next 20 years, you went from being X amount valuable to I don't know how many billions of dollars you're worth now, motherfucker.
Crazy. Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
You know who is crying, Isaiah? You know who's crying? The people who, and I'm not ripping on millennials or Gen Z, but I'm just saying, the people who grew up knowing only Tom Brady as the quarterback of the Patriots, because let's think about, let me throw a name out there. And I know, Isaiah, you'll feel a little something when I say this.
Okay.
Steve Grogan.
Oh,
right? Do you feel that shitty feeling in the pit of your stomach?
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
You dreaded watching every game because you knew they were going to lose.
I almost stopped watching.
Right? Yeah. Okay. So all these people bitching and complaining now never knew Steve Grogan.
No,
they didn't live through those times. They didn't live through the worst friggin'. They were always the crappiest team. Right. Always. They made it to those 2 Super Bowls. It was like a fluke.
Oh, and we got gang raped.
And then we had to play the Bears with McMahon, right? And then we had to play like the Packers, who were like they were just an unstoppable blitzkrieg of football, you know. And it was, so it's like there was a time where I was like down in the Outer Banks, North Carolina. I was living in Virginia, and I was down there, and where I was in a bar and the Redskins were playing. This is the 90s when the Redskins were just like the shit, you know?
Right. They were good.
Everybody around there loves the Redskins. And so I'm watching the game at the bar with this place is packed and this guy's like going, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he turns and he looks at me and goes, you believe this game? Because they weren't doing well. I go, I don't know. I'm a Patriots fan. The man literally looked at me for a second and then just did one of these.
Oh.
And just turned his back on me and did not even talk to me for the rest of the night.
Oh, what a bitch.
It's like I didn't even exist because I said that. It's unfriggin' but those people that are bitching and complaining that Tom Brady's the best what I heard was this woman going, he's classless and rude.
Really?
Because he didn't, right? Okay. You just don't you don't remember those years where it was like you would have a 2-14 season, you know?
Well, and the crazy thing it wasn't just the generational thing, because I looked at a lot of people that were commenting that I was out, west when this happened. I was kind of looking at this going, I'm looking at a lot of my friends saying awful shit and questioning this and bitching about that. Then I see the Portnoy thing and I'm like, oh, what the fuck, dude? Really? Like, really? You're going to use your platform to, like, you're a kid from Swampscott. Shut the fuck up. You're a Patriots fan. Don't question. Like, Tom is strategic in every move he makes, and God bless him for giving respect to the fucking team that he went to after, I'm sorry, I played 20 years for you and gave you all your accolades and then went over here to Team B. That's okay, because there's still going to be a time where it's a one-day contract, or even if they don't do that, they're going to have a fucking, dude, they're going to have a giant, blowjob thing at Gillette Stadium for Tom Brady, as they should, and he'll go in the Patriots Hall of Fame and the fucking certainly the NFL Hall of Fame. And it's like, but this last week and a half proved to me that the keyboard warriors are fucking so pathetic. And we knew this throughout life of social media, but we certainly experienced it during COVID. And wow, Jesus Christ! I look at my own friends and go,
everyone got cocky. I mean, everyone
because everybody thought they were a doctor. Everybody thought they were a doctor. Everyone thought they were a fucking scientist, and they didn't know shit. And now this, but something like this to me was like, this is. I always hide with sports because I don't want to fucking deal with the outside keyboard warriors. And then when I saw this, I was like, oh my God, you disappoint me so much, because you're bitching and bitching and bitching and literally saying fuck you to a guy that brought you six.
But that's how it's always been. Like, to be a Boston sports fan, I think it has a lot to do with the Boston sports media. Like, have you ever been to another city and listened to their sports radio?
Yes.
Oh,
it's weird when they're like
news,
positive,
except for New York and
New
Philly.
York is New York, Chicago, and Philly are aggressive like we are.
But it's
Philly
a
is a lot
fest.
like us.
You go to any other city, you're absolutely right. It's a snooze fest.
Well, you go to Cleveland, and Cleveland has what? Like, the Cavaliers and the Browns. So
and
they're just
and like a Burger King.
They're just happy to be there.
Are they still called the Indians?
I think so for now.
Oh,
okay.
Not for long. But yeah, like when I worked at EEI covering the Bruins, I was the only, like, I made this decision. I was like, anything that I post or put out, it's just going to be straight up defending the players. That's how me and Jimmy Hayes kind of became friends, because the media used him as a punching bag because he was from here. I don't get it. They did the same thing to Hal Gill. But I did everything I could to just make this is probably why they didn't like me, the other hockey writers mad. And
so the other writers used to pick on them?
Yes, but just in general, to be a Boston hockey writer or a sports writer, it seems like you have to be negative. Or even if you're saying it in a positive way, there's kind of like a negative undertone. Like,
right. You got to find something to bitch about. You got to create drama. And I understand that's part of what being in the media is. You want to generate discussion, but to the point where it's like, even when they were winning, people were still bitching.
Yes, because that, like, every show on the Sports Hub, it's like I know that if the Bruins swept every playoff game and won the Stanley Cup, there would be some negative thing like, well, they didn't really deserve it. Like,
yeah. Well, they got lucky.
What do you want?
well, we go on, and we've talked about this before. The onset of 24-hour news cycles, news talk radio, sports talk radio, the fact that I can jump on Twitter in an instant and give my opinion. You talk about that, Mike. Look who fuels that. The number one show in Boston is Felger and Mass, and they're very talented. They're very talented, but the motherfuckers, their negative undertone is always there between
and
Big Jim,
everyone's head, and this is how they learn how to communicate.
But that's their shtick, and we all know that. Doing what we do, that's more
fun.
Shtick.
It's more fun that way
because
it's like being the villain. It's like being the villain in a superhero movie. It's cool.
Correct. I don't want to be the nice guy. I want to be the one that
But it's Big also Jim fun to do it the way Jack Edwards or LB did it, where no matter what, you're going to be.
Yeah, you're kind of a homer. Yeah, there's that.
But too, you can't. This day and age, there's so much fucking noise because we as a society have allowed this 24-hour cycle of. Someone said to me today, "Hey, did you ever watch this thing or listen?" Actually, my friend Jimmy, you knew Jimmy. Jimmy used to sell for WAF, Jimmy Verreau.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good egg.
Yeah,
good egg.
Good man.
Doing well down in Florida, recovering from prostate cancer. He's a good egg.
That's good.
But he's such a good guy. But he was back in the day with you guys when things were crazy and shit was fucking out of control. Opie and Anthony days. He was selling Opie and Anthony like it was fucking Christmas, right? He was doing well.
Did you knew he was a state trooper in Maine?
No, Jimmy was not a state trooper.
I thought he was a state trooper or a cop or something in Maine.
No. He worked at the Bounty in Maine. He met Bruce Mittman in Maine because he was part of the place called the Bounty in Bangor. And then when Bruce came down in the early days and got involved in WAF, he fucking pulled him down to be a sales guy.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your
flow. No. But he's solid people. He was solid people. Yeah. I can't remember what the fuck I was talking about though.
Well, he was probably, I'm guessing it's Jimmy Verreau. He was just pointing out how he was really good at this, pointing out how hypocritical people were. I'm guessing that's what you were going to say.
Yeah. I was like, how did we get on this?
Yeah.
That might have been it, but I'm having a senior moment, I guess. Okay. And just fucking off it went. But no,
just a side story about Jimmy Verreau. This is the kind of guy. I mean, the guy used to like drink a bottle of vodka a day, and then he stopped drinking. And
cold turkey.
And then we used to go to Ireland. Guinness used to pay for the morning show to go to Ireland for St. Patrick's Day. All right.
Was Jimmy there?
Yeah, Jimmy went with us, and so you're there with like Guinness reps, okay? They have Guinness on them all the time in a duffel bag, and then they would send an advance team it was a bar crawl every night. So they'd send an advance team to the next bar, and when you walked in, they would have like 30 pints of Guinness poured and ready to go. So you just walked up, and it was a constant flow. You could drink as much as you want, and never worry about paying a damn thing.
Right.
And drink and drink and drink. And Jimmy drank non-alcoholic beer the whole time.
Oh, so he had already been sober.
The man was a rock. It was impressive. He was surrounded by drunks drinking everything and free booze in his face. And that man was drinking Calibers and keeping it steady. Thank God.
Wow.
I was so impressed. I remember waking up one morning and like one of my eyes was bleeding and like, and Jimmy's down there at breakfast. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what happened? He goes, well, first of all, you tried to stick your entire arm in my ass. I was like, I'm sorry, man. And it's just, and
how
I was like, Jimmy, and I was just like, Jimmy, how do you do it? And he's like, well, I just remember what an asshole I was. And that's all it takes for me to not drink. I mean, the guys, it was amazing.
It sounds like he was probably sugarcoating it. Something definitely happened that I feel like
I think he got to a point because you got to realize, Josh, the guy, he's probably
that's what I'm saying. Because the best advice I ever got was Ken Rogerson. He said, if you really want to quit drinking, never go out on a 2-beer night. You'll never quit. You got to do it when you're puking blood and you're
And he was like a real. I mean, he was a mess. But he stopped, man. It was unbelievable, man. I mean, he was surrounded by booze free booze, and he in another country too. You know, when you're in another country, it's like like Halloween. It's like you're wearing a costume on Halloween. You're throwing inhibitions out the window. It's like, I'm a sexy cop. That means I can act like a slut because it's Halloween. You know, you're in a different country. It's like, well, I'm going to let loose because I'm an American and I'm getting free beer. You know, and unbelievable. Yeah, he's a good dude. Sorry, I wanted to do my Jimmy Varro rant, guys.
He's good, man. He's good people. I met him a few years after he'd left the AAF world, but the stories, oh my God, the stories he would tell about. We were actually talking today, and he was watching Mistress Carey's interview with Jonathan Davis, which she just recently had on her podcast. And he started watching old clips of Korn. And apparently you guys got thrown out of the Fitchburg or some ice arena because you melted the ice.
The Wallace Civic Center.
But you melted the ice somehow.
Yeah, there was some damage. Yeah. Yeah, that was before I worked there, but yeah, I remember mentioning it because I was like, why don't they have bands anymore? I remember, and
because AAF and Korn broke
it. And Carrie telling me, wow, there was some damage and we weren't allowed back, and then they just stopped having bands, and it's just an ice rink.
But it was crazy because again, we all go through this and we're experiencing like age and whatnot, and so Jonathan Davis is 50.
I know, that's crazy to think about, isn't it?
Right? It's so crazy. I'm 51. But you look at these rock stars and go, holy shit, wait a second. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, really. And we were talking about, she does obviously a lot for the veterans. So he's working with her on trying to get her connected with a couple of other.
I wanted to be out there.
No.
I'm going to title this episode "Behind the Curtain." We're just going to have to cut everything out because it's just behind the scenes shit.
Hold on, no.
Talk about
this is
behind the beat.
This is a fucking a racist cock.
Yeah. Our new sponsor, One Worcester Homes, was able to clear up some of the budget so we can pay the racist cock to come back. And welcome back, racist cock.
Fuck. I didn't know.
No. Don't worry about it, Isaiah. I just figure we catch it here and Josh can cut it out.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I'll chop it out. But we were talking about old rock stars.
No, we were talking about how Carrie's fucking killing it, and
you're setting yourself up again. Don't do it.
Something about military, and I fucking still have COVID.
All right,
so.
man. It's just. Watching Carrie's interview with Jonathan Davis.
Yes, and it brought him back to watching some footage, and there was some footage that Local Palooza was the thing you did, right?
Local Bazooka, yeah.
Local Bazooka. So some of the Korn footage had that in it.
Oh, okay.
Today, while I was walking the town and I'm listening. He goes, yeah, I was talking to Carrie about the military stuff, and he's trying to help her, do stuff there and get, packages to military people. And he goes, I heard her interviewing Jonathan Davis for the show, and it made me start to watch all this, fucking Adidas and Blind and getting back into like the good shit. And he was watching it while I'm walking. He goes, dude, what the fuck? What was it called? Local
Bazooka.
Local Bazooka. There was footage from Local Bazooka on that thing.
Yeah.
From when they broke the ice at the Wallace.
No.
Yes.
Breaking the ice. Anyway.
Local Bazooka was so much fun, man. That was such a great time. I remember seeing. It was I think it was may have been the last time they had it at Green Hill Park here in Worcester, and it was like there was a phenomenal sequence of bands. They had 2 flatbed trucks for stages, and it was at one point System of a Down, and then Machine Head on the other stage,
shit.
and then Slipknot.
Oh, fuck off! Really?
And this is before System of a Down.
What year is this?
This was like, I don't know. It was like 2000.
I was going to say, it sounds like the What's Up commercial is still current.
Yeah, right. It was unbelievable just to see that sequence of bands.
Oh my God.
Especially like a very, fresh System of a Down. You know, and then what was great about Slipknot is they walked right off the stage and just started walking around the crowd. What better marketing is that? They had the masks
in their
on.
fucking costumes.
Oh, full on. And they would just walk through the crowd. Yeah. And it was like the perfect, you know, people were just like, oh yeah, Jesus, you guys are fucking, it was just amazing. I mean, it was a great place to see bands, you know, at that level at that time. And then like later on, you know, like Shinedown. I remember Shinedown playing at like, you know, 2:00 in the afternoon. You know, getting a 20-minute set, you know, I mean, and I remember going, wow, these guys are really good. They're probably going to do really well. And, you know, now they're just, you know,
now they're headlining.
Yeah. Now they're just, you know, they're filling arenas and stuff. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We got to get back to that shit. Like we got to get, we need to have some sort of fucking, the problem is there's no radio stations left to do shit. Like there's nobody that can like,
yeah, there's no like.
Can we pull it off? Can we do a break in the ice? Fucking, you know, the event that we're going to do in March is going to be our first step.
That's you know, just us testing the waters to see if we can do stuff. But like even the shows at the Wallace Civic Center, I used to. That was my home rink when I played varsity. The bands that played there, they had plaques in the locker room, and it was like Nirvana and the Foo Fighters. Right. It was just
James
like all
Addiction
the
played up there. Yeah.
And I couldn't get it through my head. Like I knew AAF had concerts there, but I was just like, why would they come here? Obviously,
because it was
by the time I was playing, it was, you know.
Yeah, they were what? Yeah, this is before that, you know, probably radio was even playing them, you know.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
We have to we have to do something about that. Like we have to do, I think our first show is going to be good. But how do you do that on the regular now? Mike, think about this. Think about how long we've been in this business. Where the fuck do you go to hear about a show and feel the vibe that we used to feel with like
social
having
media.
An artist? Not really, though.
Well,
it doesn't
you know
work.
It's
there's too much on there. There's too much on there.
It's well, you can do it. I mean, the festivals still happen. They just don't happen around here anymore because think about it. Back when Loco Bazooka was going on and all the other local festivals like the River Rave and stuff. So you had two, maybe even 3 radio stations if you count like HJY, you know, playing the music. So this was a good area for that. Right. You know, and then BCN goes away, and then there's just AAF, and then AAF goes away. So, you know, it had the infrastructure to support that kind of thing where you had Loco Bazooka and the big gig and, you know, the indoor beach party and the River Rave, you know, and then other stuff coming through town like, you know,
we were just about
the Warp Tour and the Tattoo the Earth tour. Remember that one?
Oh my God!
That, you know, Music as a Weapon tour. There were all these.
Oh my God!
And they would all come through. They would all come through here because there was like 3 or 4 radio stations playing all those bands. So you know they'd want to come up here. But they're, you know, that's what you need. You need the infrastrucds for that, and it's tough.
I feel like a little bit that like some artists don't really. I know there's like. Some bands appreciate like there being radio stations. Like when AF went off the air, they were like, well, what are we going to do when we come to Boston?
Yeah, because there were bands where that's the only place you could hear us in all of New England, like Seven Dust, right? We were the only station that would play them in all of New England. Think about that.
Morgan just actually released a fucking litany of shows. They are doing a fucking full-blown Amnesty. When did Amnesty come out?
Amnesty?
I think it was Amnesty, right? No, what the fuck was the name of the album?
Wait. Are you talking the album? Oh,
it's
Animosity.
Animosity. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
That's probably a 10 plus 20 year plus anniversary thing.
It's got to be.
It's got to be 20.
God.
It's got to be 20.
It's making my head hurt thinking about
right.
When
it's
that
fucked
came
up.
out.
It's fucked up because when I say 10, you got to wipe away 4 for COVID. And that's 6, so it ain't 6 years ago. But they're doing, they're coming and they're doing a fucking full blown 2-leg tour. I just saw Morgan post that yesterday, and that's so good to see. That's the shit. All the people we've had on this show, we got to get them back on, Josh. Like every fucking rocker that we've had on, let's get them back on because every time we talk to them over the past year and a half, it's been like, yeah, I'm sitting here fucking doing, you know, Zoom calls and. These people are back out there now.
Well, now they're back out there. They don't have time to talk to us.
Let's find out who's our friend. I saw the Morgan
guest
piece.
wise. I really missed the height of coronavirus. It was so easy to get guests because nobody could do anything. But now there's schedules again, and I can't. Can we do this day? And then
can we talk about our potential live show? Can we?
I'd rather not say anything until things are definite.
All
right.
But we're doing a live show regardless.
It's going to happen somewhere at some point near the end of March. That's what we can say, right?
It might be at my house.
I
mean, we basically just said nothing. So yeah,
it's probably going to take place at Crompton Park here in Worcester.
Fine, done.
We're going to be on the slides. We're going to be on the slides.
Done.
Oh, that's way better than my original idea. Was the Wallace Civic Center? We were going to put on skis. We're going to have the Railers come out with us. And so in conclusion, 6 games was a bit much.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Thank you for your
maybe if he wasn't
your
a
insights
bitch
on that, I appreciate it.
Maybe if he wasn't a bitch.
Okay, I mean, you sound like the other hockey writers now.
Oh.
Also, I hate when I say other hockey. I was not a reporter. I was not a hockey writer. They hired me to be a silly goose, and that's what I did.
Thank you.
They realized they didn't want that, and I realized I didn't really like that role. I love being in the locker room and making friends with the players, but I could not do the media scrum thing. I just couldn't be a sardine and fight people to shove a mic in someone's face and talk to another adult man about his job.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not doing it. What
not an easy job.
I had a chance to do that in no bullshit, like the early 90s, maybe mid 90s. I had a relationship with whoever the fucking media person was at the Red Sox, and I was doing overnights at a rock station in Portsmouth. And so I reached out to that person and said, hey, I work here and I do a sports thing. I didn't do a sports thing. I did like a little sports thing at 5:30 in the morning because I did overnights leading in. But this person gave me 2 tickets to any game I wanted to go to and access to the locker room. I was like, okay. So, yeah. And I went down and I did it. I had a little fucking microphone with the little WHEB. And this is a rock station, by the way. This is not a, news talk station. And I just went down with my little DAT player. You remember that, Mike? Little DAT player.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because that's what it was in 93 or 4 or 5 or whatever.
DAT tapes. Yep.
Right. DAT tapes.
Future.
Right. I've got a whole 7 Dust interview on a DAT tape somewhere.
Yeah. I got a Jimmy Page interview on a DAT somewhere, which I can't play because nobody uses DATs anymore. Yeah.
Like, I look at that thing. I'm like, this is when Morgan and fucking Lejeune were like right on, like early on. I'm like, it's on this thing that I can't.
Yeah. Where can you play it? Nowhere.
The fuck? It's like a VCR. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But so I go down to Fenway and I'm like, let's check this out. Like, this is cool. And legit, I get to go onto the field, into the dugout because of my pass. And I'm like, I'm not Mike Lynch. I'm not Bob Lobel. I'm not fucking Gene Levanchi. I'm not these. Okay. I talked to a couple people interviewing this. And I'm just like, okay. And I remember years ago, I remember this to this day. Kevin Kennedy was the fucking manager. And there was remember that name?
Yeah.
There was something happening with somebody in the bullpen. I don't know if it was Papelbon. I can't remember.
Well,
but
if
I
it was
remember,
early 90s, it definitely wasn't Papelbon.
No, you're right.
He wasn't born yet.
There was probably not. But there was a question, and I said, so Kevin, can you tell us about blah, blah, blah? And he goes, I'll tell you when you need to know. I said, thank you, Kevin. Okay, we're good.
Right. What else are you going to say?
Right. But I'm telling you, the morning show that I was I gave them that, and it was gold because they're like, oh, here's our star guy. And BC was the name I used on the radio at the time. Like, here's our star guy, BC, down talking to Kevin Kennedy. Kevin Kennedy, what are your thoughts on? I'll tell you when you need to know. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Right. And that's the kind of reporting I did.
It was great country. I got a C- in English, and I got hired in a major market as Boston Bruins beat reporter. That was my
right. I was just laughing, going like, "Wow, these fucking dummies!" But but I actually could go down every single game. And remember the time, Mike, you remember this more, we won the pennant and David Ortiz is riding the horse. Do you remember that?
This was a dream you had. This wasn't.
No. It's
coming to him.
Yeah.
We won that. We won like the.
When was
something?
That?
Not the word. It was, dude. It had to have been like. I'm not sure. It was somewhere between 96. Yeah. Because he got on the police horse.
Yeah, it was a police horse
and rode around. And I was fucking.
Was that during a parade?
No, it was on the field at
Fenway.
It was on the field at Fenway.
Okay, yeah.
It was a celebration, right?
Yeah.
And so here I am. I'm living way up in New Hampshire at this point, and I can go down to any game that I want. But I also have to manage my time of like, I'm driving from fucking, the Lakes region down to Boston. Yeah. Like, get the fuck out of here. And I didn't go to so I'm trying to be like, what game can I go to the game where they clinch? How many times can I drive down there? And I didn't drive down that day, and that's the day they clinched. And David Ortiz is on a state police trooper. Oh my God, it was fucking
funny,
great.
Man. I remember that.
Oh my God, but that's
the
like
last person you won on a horse, really.
That's right. Well, that's like you, Josh. You've got access. You've got this access. I had access, and I'm a huge Ray Bork fan. And the first time ever, I meet Ray Bork, I'm in this reporter mode, right? I've got to pass. I can't act like a fucking fanboy. And here we are. Game's over. Guy's got no fucking pants on. He's just showered. He's like, what? I'm like,
you powder your balls.
Right. I should have. Right. Exactly.
That was a thing that kind of shocked me too when I first started going in the Bruins locker room, where I was like, oh, it's actually a locker room. Like, they're just doing this right here.
What did you think? Yeah,
I don't know what.
That's why when they started letting women in the locker room was a big deal, because there's naked dudes in there.
I brought my wife with me one time. I asked the PR guy, I was like, listen, my camera guy bailed. Can I bring her? She was my girlfriend then. And I was like, can she come in? And I remember, I forget what player it was. He just like took his pants off, and she was like, wow. And I was like, yeah, this probably wasn't a good idea.
His cock is out. This is great. This is fucking great. There was the same type of situation, the same access this person gave me. And I went to a Red Sox game where Roger Clemens, he didn't throw that 21 strike thing, but he fucking threw a gem. And like you talked about earlier, Josh, like just like trying to stick a microphone up like a fucking douche just to get sound.
Okay, so I've been hit with a ladder twice, really hard in the playoffs. I'm like, why? Right. Won't let me bring my camera, but you let him bring a ladder.
Oh, but the circle around Roger Clemens was so intense, and I got involved. So I just did this, right? I stuck my arm out. The funniest thing was I managed to get. And again, keep in mind, WHEB is a rock station in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. It's not WBZ. It's not WCVB. It's not these major market TV stations, right? And most cameras will zoom in and move away from all that shit. I'm a little longer, and I happen to like have my shit out far enough, and Roger pitched a gem. It might not have been a no-hitter, but it was enough to cover, New England news. And I swear to God, Mike, Josh, all you saw was Roger Clemens and WHEB.
I started doing that too. I was just trying to get in the major shots, like in the locker room. Like right. I knew who everybody would be going towards. And there's one that I like saved that I don't even think my mic was plugged into the recorder, but I just had the EI mic in front of Pasta, and but I was like standing next to him. So it was me and him facing all the reporters, like they were asking both of us.
It's fucking great. It's fucking awesome. I miss days like that. It's not like we can't do it, but it's like just the simple shit of going and doing that, and then taking that soundbite and using that on a morning show or a radio show. I miss that shit because there aren't too many. Well, you're doing a morning show, Mike.
Well, so. everybody's doing it now. You don't need a morning show to do it.
Yeah, no.
All you need is a
Twitter,
is a Twitter,
Instagram,
or
Snapchat,
or even just TikTok, and you get the recording and you just post it. So you don't really, who knows what your sources are.
I loved the go get that, come back, edit that, and make that like a really nice piece on the morning show and just
covering the Railers. We know the Railers. Let's just start going in.
Yeah, let's just. We probably, Josh. Seriously, we could probably just walk right in there. I mean, I have a media pass, but I mean, I don't even think they look for those. I just stroll right in there. Great thing I learned about this, and it's like this at every sporting event, every game. But there's a buffet for the press.
Ooh, always.
Oh wow,
always.
The Bruins and the Garden should take notes.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have one, but the Railers
they do.
The Railers lay it out. It's really and so do the Woo Sox too. It's fantastic. You get a press pass, you can just stroll right in there and get dinner for the night. It's great.
I don't know if I'd call it dinner, Isaiah. It's M&Ms is what the Bruins give you. But during the Stanley Cup Finals, I don't know why they don't do this for all the playoffs, but they transformed that like Zamboni concrete area. It's like a 5-star hotel back there for the media.
Really?
Oh my God. I was so shocked when I walked out. I was like, is this where the Zambonis usually go? There was carpeting, there was like couches, and I was like, I don't feel right being here. This is it was like being at a wedding, but they gave you like nothing to watch the game on. So I was just trying to listen. This was game 7 when they lost against the Blues. I was there for WAF, and then I was just sick to my stomach, not really being able to see the game, just basically judging it off of the crowd noise. And then, St. Louis scored. I never went in the locker room. I just turned around and left. Went home. And
fuck St. Louis.
All right, you guys, I'm going to call it here.
I got to pee.
I got to pee wicked bad. And I think I also have to poop. So
end of the show. Bye.
This is Brad Marchand, and you're listening to Breaking the Ice with Josh Dolan. I don't think he would ever let a pizza get out the door before he buried the whole thing, so he likes to eat that kid.